good afternoon. Today we are here to briefly explain about the topic I have a dream. Before starting the presentation, I'd like to introduce myself and my teammates would introduce themselves. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Safala Pantha.
Myself, Solina Subedi.
And it's me, Sanjay Kumar.
Thank you, Salina and Sanjay. Also, our group is facilitated by Min Prasad Dawarisha, our English teacher. As we know that time and tide waits for none, so without any delay, I'd like to start the presentation with a short informative video that supports racial equality.
Mom, why are they black?
Sorry?
Why are they black?
I will call you later. Sarah, don't say that.
But Mom, they're black.
Black is beautiful. They are black, but they are beautiful. It's pure. You know, Sarah, darling, they're black because God created them first. And he fell in love with his first baby and its beauty. So he created many of them with a beautiful heart inside.
Mom, so why are we white?
Well, one day, God was passing through a park, and he noticed a beautiful little black girl sitting alone, playing with the white clay. She was trying to make a doll for her to play with. He stopped there to watch her closely. Her beautiful little hands were full of white clay. She has almost painted herself with the white clay, and he was amused to see her. So he decided to make more people and paint them white, and he loved his new creation. So he played all the shades of white and created all of us. But inside, we all are black. We all are same.
Don't worry, it's just a paint. Inside we're all black.
You are more than beautiful. You are more than beautiful.
What's your name? Sarah.
From this video, we can learn that children aren't born with discriminatory mindset. They learn what they see or what they are taught by their family members or by their culture. These social disparities in race that are imprinted in the minds of people since their childhood can be eradicated by providing education and reservations to the humiliated groups. Awareness campaigns also play a vital role in bringing racial inequality to an end. Now, let's learn something about this delivered by civil rights activist Martin Luther King. I have a dream. Iconic speech delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. in front of the Lincoln's Memorial toward the end of March on Washington. On August 28, 1963, King took the podium at the March on Washington and addressed the gathered crowd, which numbered 250,000 or more. It is a defining moment of the American civil rights movement. Here we are talking a lot about King's speech, but most of us rarely know what kind of person Martin Luther King Jr. actually is. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American Baptist minister, activist, humanitarian. He was born in 1929 and was assassinated by J.E. Ray in Memphis in 1968. He was a leader in the African American civil rights movement. He is the best role for his role in the advancement of civil rights using non-violent civil disobedience. He is one of the greatest orators in American history. On October 14, 1964, he received the Nobel Peace Prize for combating racial inequality through nonviolence. Now that we are familiar with the title and the writer of this speech, it's time to explore more about the actual topic. My awesome friend Salna Subedi will be telling us briefly about this speech.
Thank you, Safala. So now let's learn about the background of this essay. This is the splendorous essay, which in actual is an amazing speech given by a great American civil rights leader, Martin Luther, on August 28, 1963. According to the king, during that very time, the Constitution of the USA declared all men as an equal and were promised to provide blacks with their rights. But in reality, they didn't get any freedom, equality, and justice. Rather, they were deprived of enjoying their rights. So this unforgettable speech came exactly 100 years after the blacks were declared free. His dream was about the bright future of the America. His main aim was to establish the fine relationship between all the blacks and whites people of America. King's speech invokes the Declaration of Independence, the Emancipation Proclamation, and the United States Constitution. In reference to the abolition of slavery articulated in the Emancipation Proclamation, King says, "It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity." The speech draws upon appeals to give African Americans the freedom and equality they deserve. Now let's learn about the more details of the speech. During that period, blacks were not allowed to cast their votes and even were not allowed to stay at hotels. Even in the public vehicles, whites used to write, "Dogs and blacks are not allowed." So King emphasizes the non-violent movement through his speech to end the pathetic racial discrimination against blacks. During his speech, he even praises some whites who were supporting the movement of him. He opines that America could only become a great nation if all its citizens enjoy equal rights and privileges. He wanted to see equal opportunity, good education, good jobs, and money making for all the black people is white. So now let's have a detailed discussion about this topic. "I Have a Dream" is one of the most powerful and unforgettable speeches delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. King Jr. begins his speech by giving the reference of the past and points out that Emancipation Proclamation had brought a great hope for millions of people. It started the end of 250 years and more of black slavery. Later, America has failed to keep the promise, and the promissory note turned out to be a bad check. It can be seen from the condition of the black that had remained unchanged. त्यतिखेरको अमेरिकाको कन्स्टिट्युसनले अल मेन्स आर इक्वल भन्ने जुन पेपर वर्क लिएर आयो त्यो पेपर वर्क चाहिँ रियालिटीमा टर्न हुन सकेन, त्यो चाहिँ प्र्याग्मेटिक हुन सकेन, जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अमेरिकाको कन्स्टिट्युसनले त ब्ल्याक्सहरूलाई त व्हाइट्स जतिकै राइट त पेपरमा दियो, तर उनीहरूले चाहिँ त्यो राइट्स कहिले पनि आफूले भोग्न पाएन। उनीहरूलाई होटलमा बस्न दिँदैन थियो, भोट हाल्न पाउँदैन थियो, उनीहरूले पब्लिक भेहिकलमा उनीहरूलाई ट्राभल गर्न दिँदैन थियो। अझै पब्लिक भेहिकलको पछाडिपट्टि व्हाइट्सहरूले लेख्थ्यो कि डग्स एन्ड ब्ल्याक्स आर नट अलाउड होइन। अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ अमेरिकाले चाहिँ त्यो प्रमिस जुन आफूले राखेको थियो व्हाइट्सहरू र ब्ल्याकहरूलाई इक्वल्ली ट्रिट गर्ने, त्यो चाहिँ प्रमिस्ड फेल भयो होइन। अनि blacks were deprived of all those civil rights and opportunities and have been facing racial discrimination, injustice everywhere in America. and they were still dominated in the different opportunities by the whites. Hence, not just the Emancipation Proclamation, but the American Constitution had failed to pay the promise of equality, liberty, and happiness. ब्ल्याक्सहरूले पाउनुपर्ने राइट चाहिँ उनीहरूले पाएको पनि थिएन जस्ट बिकज दे वेयर born एज अ ब्ल्याक आफ्नो स्किन कलर ब्ल्याक भएको कारण नै उनीहरूले जस्टिस नपाउनु उनीहरूले लिबर्टी नपाउनु भनेको चाहिँ जस्ट अ पथेटिक सिचुएसन होइन अझै आई जस्ट फरगट द forgot that incident, but I just remember little thing. एउटा चाहिँ अमेरिकामा चाहिँ एउटा कम्पिटिसन हेल्ड भएको थियो कि त्यो कम्पिटिसनमा चाहिँ चिल्ड्रेनहरूलाई चाहिँ पार्टिसिपेट गरायो एन्ड दे वर गिभन अ टपिक त्यो टपिकमा चाहिँ टपिक के थियो भन्दा वाट विल बी द बेस्ट पनिसमेन्ट फर द क्रिमिनल भनेर थियो अनि सबै चिल्ड्रेनहरूले चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई जे राम्रो लाग्छ जे चाहिँ पनिसमेन्ट उनीहरूलाई दिँदा राम्रो हुन्छ त्यो लेख्यो बट एउटा चाइल्ड थियो उसले चाहिँ एउटा मात्रै सेन्टेन्स लेख्यो एन्ड देन हि वोन द्याट कम्पिटिसन उसले के लेखेको थियो भने चाहिँ पुट द्याट पर्सन इन ब्ल्याक स्किन भनेर लेखेको थियो अनि यस्तै अर्को एउटा एक्सपेरिमेन्ट गरियो होइन जुन एक्सपेरिमेन्टमा चाहिँ के थियो भन्दा ब्ल्याक्स एन्ड व्हाइट्सहरूलाई चाहिँ पब्लिक भेहिकलमा लिफ्ट माग्दाखेरि कति पर्सेन्ट व्हाइट्सले लिफ्ट पाउँछ र कति पर्सेन्ट ब्ल्याकले लिफ्ट पाउँछ भनेर चाहिँ यो एक्सपेरिमेन्ट गर्यो जसमा चाहिँ 70% अफ द व्हाइट्स गट लिफ्ट इन द पब्लिक भेहिकल whereas only 30% अफ ब्ल्याक्स will succeed in getting lift in पब्लिक भेहिकल यसले पनि प्रुभ गर्छ कि अझै पनि रुटबाट नै रेसियल डिस्क्रिमिनेसन चाहिँ इन भएको छैन सो King Jr. uses the analogy of bad check and promissory note to describe the two historical documents, that is, Emancipation Proclamation and the American Constitution. He asserts that Black had gathered to cash the check that America had granted them. He reminds that Black would no longer wait for gradualism. King Jr. emphasized on the urgency to their civil rights. In order to achieve that, King appeals to his fellow men to unite for a struggle. He requests all the people to fight for the great nation America, which will be based upon the principle of liberty, equality, and fraternity. त्यतिखेर त ब्ल्याक्सहरूलाई त लिबर्टी नै पाएको थिएन नि उनीहरू त व्हाइट्सहरूको घरमा एज अ स्लेभको रूपमा युज हुन्थ्यो जस्ट स्किन कलर ब्ल्याक भएर उनीहरूलाई सामानको रूपमा किनबेच गरिन्थ्यो होइन जुन चाहिँ इनह्युमन बिहेभियर विच इज पेथेटिक टु सल्युसन एन्ड हियर and he dreams America to be a prosperous nation by rising from the quicksand of racial discrimination to the solid rocks of brotherhood. The language used in the speech is very simple and praiseworthy. This repetition of lines, 100 years later, now is the times we can never be satisfied. Go back to I have a dream and let freedom ring. Express the intention of his feeling and faith on the civil rights movement. Similarly, he uses the analogy of bad check and promissory note to make his people understand better. Moreover, he uses the musical analogy we will be able to transform the cangling disciple of our nation into the beauty of symphony of brotherhood to express his aspiration. As we all know that dark skin is not a crime and light skin is not a prize. Remember, both are shame when light goes up. So over to you, Sanjay.
Coming into the conclusion, I would like to say that these ideas in the speech reflect King's social experience of ethnocentric abuse, the mistreatment and exploitation of blacks. He said, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold this truth to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Thank you for providing us this wonderful opportunity, Mr. Min Prasad Dawadi sir and friends of Grade 12 and all those who helped us directly and indirectly. At last, special thank to Mahavidyalaya. And if you have any queries,
Dear students, if you have any queries, put your queries, please. I think there is no query. Everything is clear.
Thank you everyone for your precious time. Let the freedom ring.
Yes, thank you so much. So it was a mind-blowing presentation. So from the core of my heart, so I'd like to thank everyone for your well executed performance presentation. And some of the statements really touched my heart also. Even in my regular class, I could not mention that. Like dogs and blacks are not allowed here. So see, try to understand this. Dogs and blacks are not allowed. And many other statements you presented. So it was really a wow type of performance presentation. So thank you very much once again. Now, I want to put a query, just one query. Uh, so could you summarize the key points of this speech with reference to the dreams of Martin Luther King Jr. for the bright future, prosperous future of America, just American country where blacks and whites will be treated equally. So can you say the synopsis of uh, the whole speech in few lines? This is
Okay,
my
sir.
yes.
Okay, sir. Actually, the dream of Martin Luther King is not that big. Just he wanted the black people of America to get the rights like whites are getting in America, and the King Jr. wanted the unification between the whites and black. That's why he requested all the people to fight for the great nation of America, which will be based upon the principle of liberty, equality, and fraternity. He dreams America to be a prosperous nation by rising from the quicksand of radical discrimination to the solid rocks of brotherhood. Thank you.
My laptop is being used from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 12 hours. So it is. Okay. Yes. Is the screen visible there?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Wait for a moment. Wait for a moment. Take some. Why black? Oh, sorry. Yes. From this point you want to start, yes? Or I have to go back? Yeah,
No,
to
sir, no, don't do back.
Okay, okay. Yes, now
Yeah, from
yes, you
here.
can start. I request other students to take the screenshot of this. Please start. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, thank you, Min sir, for giving us this grand opportunity in this online platform. Today, myself, Suraksha Basnit,
It's me, Anis Sapuda.
It's me, Vidhan Regmi.
presents here to describe you about the essay Woman Business written by Ellen Cantrap. Without beating the bushes, I'd like to take you to the presentation. But before that, I want to ask you a question. Do you think women will succeed in doing business? For that, to know this answer, let's start this presentation. Yes, sir, next slide. Next slide. In this presentation, it mainly contains about the firstly about author, secondly it's about the essay, and finally it's about the main theme of the essay. About the writer of this essay, Woman's Business, is Ellen Cantrap, who was born in 1950. She had a very busy career as a writer and teacher and editor. From 1974 to 1977, she taught at Tufts University and received her doctorate from there. And recently, she is the senior staff editor for Notable American Woman, which is the biographical encyclopedia. It's also a publication of Radcliffe College. And She is also the writer and consultant for the Education Development Center.
Now, the title of the essay is Women's Business, written by the Eleni Cantrop, an American writer. She mainly depicts about the struggle done by females of America. She has presented 7 different females here in this who have done various welfare tasks for American females. She also presented women's struggle as their business strategies. Also, they can be found on doing various tasks in social sector. So next slide, please. Now, the first character is Lady E. Pinkham. See, Lady E. Pinkham is the prominent lady here in this essay. Her face was printed in the front cover page of her magazines and newspaper. She also raised the issue related with females' rights and also cured various diseases faced by American females. Apart, apart from business of selling medicine, she took interest in social service also too. She invented local medicine which was called Lady Pincham's vegetable compound. She herself examined females and gave reports to them with medicine to help them correct physical problems and infertility. She inspired all the females to develop their feminine role in the society.
Helen Rubinstein and Elizabeth Harden. Both of them ran successful business on cosmetic goods in American business. They attract people attention by their marriage with the European aristocrat. Elizabeth Harden started with the advertisement of the facial treatment. Helen Rubinstein advertised about the benefits of the raw eating vegetable. Both of the ladies earned money, name, and fame due to their innovative business strategy.
Margaret Rutkin. She was the founder of Pepperidge Farm Incorporated. She prepared healthy, addictive-free whole wheat bread for all, and especially for her asthmatic son. She helped many females to correct their physical problems. She earned a huge amount of money and popularity and supplemented her husband's income, which was really poor. She applied various innovative and techniques in her bread preparation to transform it into thriving business.
Now, the fourth character is Jenny Grossinger. Jenny Grossinger was also known as Jewish grandmother in America. She ran a successful hotel in the city of New York. She was famous for her delicious food item as well as entertainment in her hotel. She used to provide good hospitality to 15,000 guests every year in her hotel.
Now, Gertrude Muller flourished a business related with child care products in America, brought the various innovative ideas solely to care the babies at home, produced, provided child care pamphlets to her customer. Her books pamphlets were read by many daughters of America, earned a huge amount of money through her invention called Twitter Seed, became quite rich and famous through her innovative strategy.
And finally, the last character is Annie Turbo Mellon. She was a black female capitalist. She set up her fine business of hairdressing in America. She sold various chemicals in American market that made hair look nice. And she even worked as a social worker. She began to train people about using her products. She ran the school to uplift the condition of all the black peoples of America.
The main theme of the essay, the thesis of the essay is to focus on success of American business women who adopted innovative business strategy and established themselves in respectable position in the business field as well as in the society. The business women were also involved in social work for uplifting the society. However, their aim was to promote their own business on the pretext on social service for the sake of their business. They activate the society on money and upgrade their own position in the society. The women entrepreneurs discussed in the essay were different many way from their counterparts. The women were involved in earning money along with the social service for upgrading their own position, adopting the clearest marketing techniques by rendering the practical advice on various advice they activate the woman of the society. They were not also involved in selling their product, but also play an important role for the benefit of the society. They clearly utilized their image of being human to upgrade their business. They were extremely sex consequences which they revealed by servicing the female only. Lydia advised her customer to bypass the male physician, adopting the new business skills. The female entrepreneur also able to introduce the feminine role in the male dominant world of commerce in America. The businesswomen were similar to their male counterparts in the matter of owing the law of the state beside their claim about their produce through misleading and lavish advertisement.
If you have any query, you can put forward. I want no one to leave their stone unturned. Please, if you have any query, you can share to us. I think, sir, everyone is clear, so you can pursue to next slide. So I want to end this presentation here saying that if you educate a man, you educate a man, you educate a woman, you educate a generation. Thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful presentation it was. So both groups used their own uniqueness to bring a different flavor in this presentation. So I would like to congratulate both groups, this group as well as the previous group, for your wonderful, insightful and comprehensive presentation on your assigned topic. So I hope the coming up presentation should be more interactive, more attractive and comprehensive than this, because you are learning lesson from all these sessions. So once again, I would like to congratulate all the presenters, all the groups who have presented so far. So today we are running out of time also. So next time I may be raising question related to these lessons, especially this last lesson. So at last, I want to thank everyone, all the presenters and participants, for these sessions. Thank you very much. Now, next time we'll be following the same order. Next time, so I request all these remaining groups, at least 3 groups in order, be ready for that. I think tomorrow we won't have the session, the day after tomorrow. So thank you very much. Now you can leave the session and join another class.